nice satin pyjamas. I quite like that. It's maybe a sign of getting old. Is this my midlife crisis? But I got them because I wanted them, I suppose. And I tried them on and then went, these are quite nice. I live in a caravan with a grandfather clock and satin pyjamas. I know I can see that looking eccentric, but I like what I like.
Very interesting and grounded documentary about a small island in Scotland, I believe, and the history there, which is goes back quite far. What I liked about this piece was how grounded and relatable it was. It was really more about the people than the setting, even though a lot of the cinematography of the setting was quite beautiful, of the water, and the old architecture as well. But I thought it was more about a sense of community and an idea of sort of helping your neighbor that was sort of couched in the history of the island and how the many events of the island sort of contributed to that dynamic. I felt like the music in particular really fit the concept well, and I thought that the documentary style sequences with the individual people that lived on the island were very personable and sort of showed them in a light that made them very relatable, even if you're not someone that was familiar with this place. So I felt like it was a really great representation of the area and of the people in particular, couched in a very detail-oriented cinematography based concept. So I ended up really liking it and think it was quite beautifully shot.
I love the pace of the film, very laid back interviews with locals, and interesting historical details about a castle and how the inhabitants were chased off in the past. The soundtrack of gentle guitar and light percussion matched the chill pace of the island. The cinematography was simply beautiful. Lots of awesome drone shots of the island, the water, the mountains, and the wildlife. It was fun to see how resourceful the people were with tourism, education, and other businesses. I would love to check out the rum that's being produced there. You really sense the warmth, camaraderie, and pride of the people.
Well, the interesting thing that he says at one point is he's like, we don't all think the same way. We had there are some frictions and points of view. He's like, I suppose we all thought the same way. It would be a cult, not a community. So, anyways, that makes you think what a community is. A community is people, different varying points of view, and yeah. So anywhere you can gather people that have diversity and variety of thought, you can have community. So, anyways, interesting food for thought that I brought away from this. It's a beautiful place, and the film was so nicely done, and everything was so nicely shot. It's such a wonderful use of the scenery there. The interviews were all really terrific. The people were so interesting to get to know.
I think it was a great look at this small Scottish island that produces rum. It's not very big, but still is leaning towards tourism and community and all working together in this little island where everyone knows each other. I think it was a really lovely look into the island of rum, a good look at, the whole distillery process. I think if this would be like something produced for the tourism board, I think it was done really well, and it was really inviting. All the interviews, you could sense a feeling of camaraderie and welcoming from all of the talking heads, and it made it very inviting, but laid back. You do a great job with the score of making it, warm, but like not too pressuring of like, come here, come see us. Like, this is what it is. It was a really lovely piece, a lovely look at this Isle of Rum. And it definitely made me want to check it out, which I think is one of the strong pulls from this short doc.
I was really just intrigued to learn about their lifestyle, to learn about the trade-offs, where living on such a remote island versus having all the amenities and necessities that we're just accustomed to on mainland, I guess. Yes, I was really interested to learn about all those trade-offs, just to meet the people, to be sort of invited on this island as a spectator, to just sort of witness it in all its glory, and all their achievements, I think, were fantastic. mean, immediately when you hear the name Isle of Rum, you're kind of thinking, oh, yeah, there should be rum from there. And then you learn that they are making rum. I would love to try it. It sounds fantastic. Everything about this was just really thoroughly enjoyable. It's put together really well as a documentary. We have just a good cross section of inhabitants that we're meeting and speaking with. That just really makes the piece fleshed out and just feel full of life.
By choosing to, to live on this island, that they are signing up for more, that you help out wherever you can. You are a resource for your neighbors. And I think that there's something so beautiful about the way of life and what they've cultivated there and what they're trying to build for the future. I think it's beautiful. Um, I loved it. Learning about this remote place that I've never heard of before and how people are choosing to live there. I think it's beautiful.
It's just an interesting concept of just how tight knit of a community they can be, especially because they're from such a isolated location. Uh, it was very fascinating learning just more about that sense of community that was built up.